Hey, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys, an update of Nathan Asha filmed today. 3 days out, and my buddy Alessandro sent me this, who owns Mind Paradise Gym in Italy. So 3 days out from the Flex Pro weekend, Nathan Asha posing in this gym. Looking incredible. I mean, we know right now it's kind of the battle just between Beirut and Nathan. Obviously, there's other good bodybuilders in this lineup, but those are the main two that we're looking at. We hadn't seen a whole lot from Nathan. It's also worth pointing out that he's working with Boss of Outlaw, Stefan, who was also coaching Bonac for last weekend's M Pro Classic in Spain. And he's had a lot of success. We've talked about his success with Martin. We've talked about his success with Wesley Vissers winning back-to-back Arnold Classics. Now he had success bringing Bonac back after a year hiatus. Now he's working with Nathan, coaching Nathan for this Flex Pro weekend. I'm sure that we're going to see a really impressive version of Nathan go up against Beirut. And another thing that's interesting about this one, I saw somebody make this comment, that this is kind of an interesting show because the two guys that are the favorites to win, Beirut and Nathan, are two guys that have had visa issues getting to the Olympia for the past couple of years. And I think people were saying that like in a negative way. But I think it's kind of a positive thing in the sense that one of the complaints or the conspiracy theories of the M Pro Classic in Spain was that the judges just wanted Bonac to win because he could get to the Olympia and Beirut couldn't. Whereas with this show, if that's the conspiracy theory, that's not going to happen because the two top guys here, both of them have struggled getting to the Olympia. So if you buy into that conspiracy theory that they just want whoever can get to the Olympia to win the show and qualify, which I don't buy into, you're not going to see that here. Because based on this lineup, based on the updates that we've seen from these guys, based on what we know about Beirut and what we know about Nathan, I think that's going to be a pretty clear top two at this show. And frankly, I would be surprised if it's anybody else. And as of right now, we still have not gotten an update from Beirut other than seeing him on stage this past weekend in Spain. So we don't have any new physique updates as of this week of the Flex Pro weekend yet. But we do have this one of Nathan, which is a pretty good update. So again, shout out to my buddy Alessandro for hooking you guys up with this update. Now, the next story that I've got for you guys today, I found this one to be incredibly interesting. William Bonac posting a physique update apparently at 3 weeks out. So even though he's qualified for the Olympia, he does not need to compete anymore. He wants to prove a point. So now he's 3 weeks out from the Mr. Big Evolution in Portugal. I was a little bit surprised to not see him in the Flex Pro weekend lineup, but after he won the Spain show, I kind of figured, well, there's no point. But he specifically says in this update video at 3 weeks out from the Mr. Big Evolution that he really wants to prove a point here. He says, for those who disagree with the judging of my win last weekend, let's stop complaining and run it back in 3 weeks. Problem solved. And he says that Michael Krizo will be there as well. But we'll talk about that in a second. I'm not sure that Krizo will be there. He says, old boy needs to practice and loosen up by doing a few shows before the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, Mr. Olympia. So, Mr. Big, we are coming to see you soon. People are more interested in your life when they have nothing good in their life. It's easier to have opinions on others than trying to improve their own life. Ignore such people who've no goal to be passionate for. They're only a distraction. Trust your journey despite what they say. So I think this is kind of cool that Bonac is trying to prove a point. Again, he does not need to compete. He's qualified, but he wants to really, I think he wants to prove a point. I mean, he kind of says, yeah, he wants to warm up before the Olympia, but I think this is a response to some of the backlash that he got after winning Spain, which I've already said and I'll say again, I think he won Spain fair and square, 100%. I don't think it was rigged. I don't think it was a fixed competition. I think Bonac deserved that victory. And we'll see at the Mr. Big Evolution. I don't know who all is going to turn up, so we'll talk about Krizo here. So in Krizo's latest update, that video where he's sitting there talking to the camera, he responded to a comment, and one of my subscribers actually messaged me translating that comment. And apparently Krizo's response to this comment and the comment itself means that Krizo is not going to try to qualify for the Olympia this year. Apparently in the video, and there were no captions, so it was hard to translate what he actually said in the video. But apparently in the video, according to the subscriber, he said, they were supposed to go on stage at 1 p.m., so he started pumping up way too early because someone told him that they would be going on stage in 20 minutes. Apparently, they told him that like 5 times. He says he was taking a bunch of pictures backstage, posing with people, and he started to feel dehydrated. He felt sick. So I guess before he got on stage, he drank 1.5 liters of water. And he said he also might have a shoulder injury, nothing serious. But a lot of people were talking about Krizo's posing at that show. He was kind of shaky. He wasn't holding the poses very well. And so I guess that was his reasoning for the poor posing that so many people were commenting about. I guess there's some kind of shoulder injury going on. And I guess he also said in that video, the next show that he's going to be doing is the EVLS Prague show, which isn't until November 17th, 2024, which is after the Olympia. So it looks like Krizo might be going back to the drawing board and we might not see him for a while. And it sounds like we're probably not going to see him at the Olympia. Although Bonac says that Krizo is going to be at this Mr. Big Evolution, it kind of sounds like from what he said in this video, what Krizo said in this video, and what my subscriber is telling me in Krizo's response to this comment, it kind of sounds like Krizo won't be there. So if that's true, I guess it's a little bit disappointing because I do enjoy seeing Krizo at the Olympia. He brings that mass monster freak factor. Even if he's not quite in the conversation to win or be in the top 3, he still brings a level of excitement to the Olympia that I think is fun. But I hope he ends up healthy, and at least we'll probably, it sounds like, see him at that Prague show in Spain. Now, next up in the news, we got another physique update from John Jewett, who is now 4 weeks out from the Vancouver Pro Show. After a top 3 finish in the Open in Toronto, looks like he's still going for that Olympia qualification in Vancouver, which I believe was his original plan to do Vancouver. Then Toronto was kind of a more last-minute thing. And also a lot of people were asking about Quint Beastwood, who got runner-up in Toronto to Akeem, and a lot of people felt that he should have won that show. But I've seen a lot of people asking if he's going to do that show, if Quentin is going to do Vancouver, because he's Canadian. He actually responded to somebody on his story saying he's not doing Vancouver and he's actually going to take some time off just because he doesn't want to be quote-unquote on for so long, and he's referring to gear, and he wants to give his body a little bit of a rest. So unfortunately, for Quint Beastwood fans, it sounds like you're not going to be seeing him in Vancouver, and we might not see him for a little while. But you will be seeing John Jewett. So far, I believe we only really know that John is doing Vancouver, Hassan is doing Vancouver. I believe that Vlad Sukaruchko, I believe he's doing that Mr. Big Evolution in Portugal, but I also heard he might do the Vancouver show. So we'll see, but we know that Akeem and also Quentin will not be at the Vancouver show, so that would put John as kind of the front runner here, the favorite, and we know that he comes in conditioned, and Hassan being one of the other bigger names in this lineup, even though this is still kind of the early stages, we don't know the full lineup, but Hassan probably being the biggest threat that we know about so far, and I think arguably we might have seen the worst version of Hassan that we've ever seen at the Toronto show. I don't see Hassan beating John just off the merit of how he looked in Toronto. He was just so off there. I can't imagine that he's going to out-condition John in Vancouver. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about all these stories. Make sure you click the bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. Alright guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also check out my Instagram at NICKS&P, my Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power, my secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel, and consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.